Hi, my name is Allison Weiser Strout, and I've been invited here to read from my new book, Next Door to Happy. So here goes. Ever since they moved in next door last week, I've sat on our front porch watching them. They're out in their yard all day long, laughing and screaming and playing with each other until their mother calls them in. So far as I can tell, they're a real family, which means they're the opposite of mine. This morning, the kids are in the yard again. There are 5 of them, 2 boys, 3 girls, and they have divided themselves into 2 uneven teams for relay races. The kids at the front of the lines crab walk across the lawn and onto the driveway, where they each bounce a soccer ball once on one knee before hopscotching back across the grass to tag their teammate's hand. A yellow dog stands on the lawn next to them, barking as they cheer one another on. Every minute I sit here, I want to be there even more. It's been a long summer. I spent the first part as a counselor in training at my old day camp, and now my best friend, Katie Patterson, is at sleepaway camp. My heart is crazy with desire, which is just the kind of emotion that my dad tells me I should try to tone down. It's been almost a year since he moved out, and at first I was pretty upset about his leaving, but there were some good things about it. For one, he bought me a phone so that I could call him regularly. Every Wednesday and Saturday I spent the night at his apartment, and we went out to eat at the diner. He would always get the day's special, like veal shank or stuffed cabbage, which kind of grossed me out, and I would get some pasta dish. After we ate, we would go back to his place. He let me sleep in the bedroom while he took the fold-out couch in the living room. But in June, he got a different job at a different company and started flying from New York to Atlanta every Monday and coming back on Friday, and now I only see him on Saturdays. Dad's always telling me how he thinks I need to realize that life isn't perfect. It makes me kind of angry because if anyone knows that life isn't perfect, it's me. Maybe he should be telling me instead to grab the chance to be really happy when I get it, which is exactly what I'm going to do right now. When I watch those kids play, I can picture being happy just like them. I put on my sneakers and drag my old silver bike out of the garage. I ride up and down our driveway doing careful circles again and again, hoping they'll notice me. The whole time my eyes are glued up to their yard. I crane my neck extra hard so I can see who's winning. "You can do it, Reggie," the older boy yells at his brother as he crab walks across the yard. "Go, go," one girl shouts at her sister. Their dog joins the race, sprinting next to the kids. When the dog comes to the end of the driveway, it starts to tear through the narrow strip of trees between our houses. "No, Goldie," one kid shouts. "Goldie, stop," screams another. Suddenly, I am heading straight into a big yellow mound of fur that is right in front of my wheel. The dog veers to the right as I slam on the brakes and close my eyes. My body flies forward and I fall onto the back driveway, making contact with the blacktop. I end up flat on my back, elbows burning. I stay there for a couple of minutes with my eyes scrunched shut. I don't want to get up. I don't want to move. "Sorry, Goldie doesn't usually run like that," someone says. "Are you all right?" I open my eyes and stare into the eyes of the older boy. He has shaggy brown hair and a big mouth full of white teeth, and he looks like he's in high school. Boys that age don't usually talk to kids my age. His team, a younger boy and a little girl, peer at me. "I'm okay," I say as I tentatively straighten out my bruised elbows and sit up. "Yeah, TJ, she's fine," says a little girl. "Can we go back to the game now? We were winning." "Be quiet, Chloe," TJ says. Then he asks me, "Can you stand?" The younger boy, who still hasn't said one word, sticks his hand out to help me. It's kind of embarrassing taking his hand, but it would be even more embarrassing not to take it. His hand is big, and I feel rough calluses on his palm as he gently pulls. "Are your parents home?" asks TJ. "Do you want me to get them?" "Really, I'm fine," I say, which is only true if fine actually means that your entire body throbs like it's on fire. "Sorry about Goldie," TJ says. "My mom told me to tie her up, but with all of us outside, I didn't think she'd take off. My name's TJ Walker. Do you want to come over? Do you have any brothers and sisters? Maybe they want to come too." "No, it's just me," I say. "So do you want to come over?" he asks again. In my head, I'm shouting, "Yes, yes, yes," but I try to play it cool, as if joining their game had never crossed my mind. "All right," I say. The 3 of us take Goldie's path. The silent brother grabs Goldie by the collar and goes first with Chloe, following close behind. TJ gestures at me to go after her, and then he takes up the rear as we proceed single file. When we get to the Walker's yard, the 2 other sisters are passing the soccer ball back and forth. She's going to play too, TJ says. Okay, the girls say in unison, barely looking up from their practice. I forgot to ask your name, TJ says. Violet, I say. Violet Crane, from next door. The two sisters look at each other and giggle. Even the corner of the silent boy's mouth turns up a little. I guess they know I'm from next door, but it's really not that funny. Get out of here, TJ exclaims. I'm Rose, says the girl in the blue t-shirt who's still got the soccer ball between her feet. She's got dirty blonde hair that's pulled back in a high ponytail, and she wears a sweatband that matches her shirt. She has tan, muscular legs. And I'm Daisy, says the one with two golden braids and a calm expression on her face. She's about the same height as her sister, but everything about her is stick-like. Her arms, her legs, even her face is long and narrow. Our parents picked their names because when they were born, Rose was bright red and Daisy came out white as a sheet, says TJ. Now the rest of us are stuck explaining their flowery names all the time. But how do we explain this? Rose, Daisy, and Violet. Were you purple when you came out? Chloe asks. Chloe, Rose says. Don't mind her, and obviously you have to be on our team now. Definitely, Daisy agrees. Her voice is sweeter than her sister's. I think I should say something peppy and enthusiastic, something to match the twins' level of enthusiasm. But I'm the kind of person who comes up with the right thing to say about 20 minutes after the moment to say the right thing has passed. And as usual, nothing comes to my mind now, even though I'm seriously excited to be part of their team. At home, when my parents were still together, we were never a team. There was my father, who was usually angry, and my mother, who was lost in her own problems. For as long as I can remember, my mom has preferred staying home to going out. But as her anxieties got worse over the last few years, she left the house less and less, and that made my father mad. She got more and more nervous about going to parties or school events. She didn't even like to have to make conversation with other parents when she walked into the bus stop. And when she does have to talk to people she doesn't know, she always acts weird. It's embarrassing. She saw a doctor try to help her, but she got frustrated and gave up. That's a big part of why my father left. He thought she should work harder to get over her problems. It'll be me, Reggie, and Chloe against Violet, Rose, and TJ. Who wants to show Violet what to do now? TJ asks. I will, Chloe says, pushing the curls away from her face and balling up her fists in concentration. Of course, you're not going to be able to go as fast as I do. I have the record. Okay, Chloe, we get it, says Rose. She lightly taps the soccer ball as we follow Chloe back to the beginning of the course. How old are you, anyway? 12, I say. I graduated from 6th grade, which means I'm starting middle school this year. In our old district, 6th grade was middle school, complains Rose. Now, because our father got a new job and we had to move here, we're stuck in elementary school for another year. So unfair, right, Daisy nods. Violet's in your grade, Reg, adds Rose. While he'd been talking, Reggie sat down. He's plucking blades of grass from the lawn, and instead of responding to Rose, he holds a blade to his mouth and makes a whistling noise. Reggie doesn't like school, says Chloe. Shh, Chloe, says Daisy. That's okay, I say. Lots of people don't. Even in my ears, that sounds kind of lame. I should be agreeable and say what everybody says. I don't like school either. But the fact is, I actually don't mind school. At school, no one's family is there. Let's go, guys, says TJ. Back to the races. Reggie gets up, and we split into teams and do relays for a couple hours. It turns out that I'm a pretty fast crab walker, so I help our team a lot. We flower girls win 3 out of 4 races, and when we're done playing, Rose throws her arm around Daisy, and the two of them start doing a kick line to celebrate. Then Rose throws her other arm around me and makes me do the dance too. Only 5 minutes to change classes, my mother asks that night when she reads from the Benjamin Franklin Middle School official welcome package that arrived in the mail today. School starts in 2 weeks. My schedule says that homeroom is from 8:30 to 8:45 in room B116. Then I have math from 8:50 to 9:35 and gym 9:40 to 10:25 and so on until the day is over. I hope you can find your way around, she says. I'll be fine. I'm sure you will be. I did well in school too, she says. My mother likes to point out how there was a time in her life when she used to act the same as everyone else. Even though she tended to be shy, she had a normal life. She got out and went places and did things with friends. She thinks it will make me feel better, knowing that she hasn't always been the way she is now. But actually, it only makes me feel worse. I just wish she could be like other moms.